I aspire.
Yes. Your goal is to try to make sure your home is a place of peace, order, and tranquility, where your husband can renew himself in body and spirit.
I want to
prepare yourself. Take 15 minutes to rest so you'll be refreshed when he arrives.
That's a good advice.
Put something decorative in your hair, like a ribbon.
You don't have anything decorative in your hair.
Oh, no, I don't. I'm a bad wife. Bad wife.
Be happy to see him. Greet him with a warm smile and show sincerely your desire to please him.
I think that's fantastic. So sincere.
In a low, soothing, and pleasant voice.
Hypnotize him.
Never complain or goes out to dinner without you. Instead, try to understand.
Try to understand him.
No.
Don't ask questions about his actions.
Don't ask questions.
Judgment or integrity. Remember, he is the master of the house, and as such, will always exercise his will with fairness.
That's right. He will exercise his will with fairness.
Look how happy she is. He about threw up her food.
But the moment of his arrival is not the time. Let him talk first. Remember, his topics of conversation are more important than yours.
Oh, I love this. This is a recent video.
It looks like it. I can tell.
A good wife always knows her place.
A good wife always knows her place. Hey, welcome, Donna. It's still playing. Hold on a second. Well, let's play the beginning of the opening of the show, and then we'll move on with our lives.
1,000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun.
So I think what we've learned is, ladies, never question your husband.
Yeah, I don't know what planet that is.
I think that video is actually a joke. That video is actually made as a joke.
It has to be.
That was a newer video.
And there's no way in hell anyone's doing that.
No, they're not doing that. I love especially if he doesn't show up for dinner, it's okay. You just make it and make his dinner warm for him when he gets home.
And then she fell asleep at the table.
Yes. Well, she didn't take a long enough nap when she
that's right. To refresh herself.
To refresh herself.
That's the only positive one I liked in there is that you should take a nap. I'm like, everybody should take a nap.
Everyone should take a nap. My wife and I have a thing now. Our COVID thing is we both wake up around, well, the alarm goes off at 7 a.m., by the way. Alarm goes off at 7 a.m., which immediately has us go, Alexa, don't say anything. I have a new thing. Don't talk. I have one in the room now. We say 30-minute timer, please. So then 7:30 comes around and one of us says, no, 30-minute timer, please. But then by 8 o'clock, it's down to a 15-minute timer. Okay, 15 minutes. And then somewhere around 9-ish, we zip right into, one of us gets up and gets coffee and drinks and a little snack. And then we sit in bed for another half hour until 10. Then half the day is over. And then we get up and start doing something. That's our perfect day.
Lucky you.
Do you not have any rituals such as this?
Was it like that? Well, that's super cute. You're in your bed, but like I get antsy and I cannot lay in the bed. So I boink out of the bed, out back, feeding the animals, watering the plants, and my husband's still rolling around for another half hour.
Mm-hmm.
He's a slow to get up one. But I would say it's more the nighttime routine where we watch TV and get ready to go to bed and slow the day down and all that.
Well, we've been doing that too. And I'll tell everybody out there too, this is a great piece of advice. When you have those times together, our thing tonight, recently is we've been having TV on, whatever show. We just watched something with Anna Kendrick on HBO Max. But what we've also done, we've been doing a puzzle together every night.
I tried that.
You didn't like it?
I liked it.
Yeah, your husband didn't like it.
No.
Oh, well, I pay attention to the show. Yeah, I pay attention to the show, and then I'll put pieces here. She gets very intense on the puzzle. I'll put in pieces here and there, and then I'll kind of slide in a little more. But she doesn't care about watching the show. and I watch the show.
That's interesting. I haven't tried that. That's like a multitasking. Like she's doing a puzzle, you're watching the show, and there's a little blend over in there.
Yeah. Well, we're sitting together at the puzzle table, and I'll spend more time watching the show. And then as I want to take a minute from the show, I'll look around. I'll say, oh, that piece looks like it goes. She's very intent on the puzzle. And then I'll say, oh, this just happened in the show. And she'll go, oh, okay. And then because she gets so excited about the puzzle. But I just think these are the times. This is the time in life when this is the stuff you need to be doing, especially if your life isn't as busy. But if your life is busy, it's really the kind of thing you need to be doing, right?
Yeah. And I have to tell you that there's a thing going around about the after COVID, now that like people are getting back to work, divorces are starting to happen.
Yeah, people are starting to fight. Well, and they were starting to happen. Well, and they're starting to happen with people who weren't getting along during COVID, found out they're totally different people.
Yep, that happened. And then like just so a lot of folks are workaholics, right? So they don't balance well. They neglect their home, their relationship, and work. And then the COVID thing happened. Everybody went into quarantine and people weren't working. And so they're like, oh, yay, we get to have our time and we're bonding and enjoying. And they got into that. And that started feeling really good. And then back to work they go, work. The person is like, wait a second, I do not like this, even worse than I did before. And they're getting all mad that they don't have quality time now.
Well, because I will tell you this, obviously as a comedian, I was gone a lot. My wife was never that thrilled with me being gone a lot. And this has been incredible to be home for a year, almost. It'll be up to a year. So when I go back to the cruises, what's that going to be like if and when I go back to the cruises? If I go back, I'm gone 2 weeks and 3 weeks when, she's been able to count on me 24/7 almost, exception, Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be fighting, and because she spent.
Someone's not going to be happy, I'm thinking.
Well, she spent 30 years. I mean, in the beginning, first 15 years, I was gone 46 weeks a year. Now, after we had the baby, I was home a lot more, and I would only work so much at a time. But I don't know. Will I go back to that? I don't even know if that's going to be a thing. This could be it for me forever. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
And luckily we're in a position that wouldn't be impossible. You know what I mean? So is this now what I am and what I'm doing? I don't know. But
wow.
But luckily
identity difference.
Well, and of course the hardest time, of course, was when I was in Vegas for that 7 months. That was untenable after 7 months to be gone. Literally 7 months. I was in Vegas and they came out once a month. That could never happen.
No.
Okay. Are you ready? I've got a big stack of questions and we can only do 30 minutes today. So here we go. First one, is it true? Okay. I don't know if this one will come up. Let's see.
How do you spell it?
Okay. Is it TIWE? I guess that's true. Is it true the best babysitter is a closet, a flashlight, and a sippy cup?
You really?
Well, but let's think about what they're saying here. And that is, okay, there's two sides, that they're terrible people and they're leaving their kid alone. But the other one is kids learning to entertain themselves without video screens, without being able to play. And I spent a lot of time in a closet with a flashlight.
Like by choice, there's kids that really enjoy that.
Well, but finding ways for kids to entertain themselves in this kind of manner where they have to use their imagination, they have to create the whole play thing, that's a fantastic thing. Not sure that's a babysitter if you're going out to dinner.
If you lock the closet.
You lock them in the closet. They're Harry Potter. Lock them in the cupboard.
No, didn't go to dinner.
With their owl and go to dinner.
Oh my gosh.
So I know they're joking in a way here, but in a way, I don't think this is out of the realm of thought.
Right. Like you were saying, if, going back to the getting creative to play, not using electronics, using your imagination, using what you have handy, like those stimulate the thought process and creativity and get that brain a working. The electronics is feeding your brain entertainment, so you don't really have to use it for much.
And that you don't have to entertain them. That you
Right.
that the goal is you're not creating some big elaborate game and stuff that they're going to play. Like I used to do scavenger hunts for my daughter almost every day, where I would go all over the neighborhood putting little notes, and there'd be a prize at the end, and she would read them and go through these scavenger hunts. And I did those because she was 4 and reading, and that was really great that she could read, and then her friends would get involved. And she was also good at just she didn't care about me or anybody. She'd play, but I think that's a way also for kids to not have to be babysat or watched every second of the day if they can play on their own.
I have to say, I have a few clients who are teenagers who purposely go in their closet, close the door, bring a flashlight, pillow, and they enjoy a snack in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I would call my daughter's room her closet at this time, because that's where she shuts us out all the time, all day, all night.
Her big closet.
Yeah, her big closet, and it's dark in there, and she's just got the light of her phone is what she's got. So, and her friend are in there right now and they do the craziest. They do scavenger hunts online, and they're letterboxing. Now that they can drive, they do this letterboxing all over town. They've been doing it all. Letterboxing for everybody out there. Hey, if you don't know what letterboxing is, so go to like letterboxing.com. I don't know how you get it, but people have placed. You get a stamp that you design yourself, that whatever you want it to be, and you make it out of rubber, and then you look up where these people have hidden their letterboxing things. So you go find, and it could be behind a Taco Bell, inside a little concrete block that has been pushed out, that then gets pushed back in, or in the middle of a forest, under a tree. It could be in a lamppost in London, on certain streets. So they give you clues to where to find it. So you go, and then once you find it, it's a little package somehow that is against the weather, and you take it out, and then there's a book in there, and you put your stamp in there, and they have put a stamp in there. You take their stamp it in your book.
Oh.
Right? And you can write a little something if you want, and then they know, and you know that you have found their letterbox. And you find, like, they're thinking of trying to find one here at Western at Gatton Academy, because they both used to go to Gatton Academy, so that people can go find it there. She and I went years ago, we should do this, to this middle of these woods. And it's like, take 10 steps this way, 15 paces this way, go down this trail, 13 paces off the trail. And we're like, there is no way this is going to be here. It was friggin' there. Old log, like in an old log.
Wow.
Been there forever.
I think I heard that as geocaching.
That's really nice, but I don't understand why that geocaching. That's really odd.
It's the world. There's things hidden all over, and you can geocache, and you like go look for those little things. It's not just stamps, though. It's like things that little packages of things.
You can do that at Disney too, by the way, since this show is now turned into a travel log. At Disney, that you can set up right in the beginning with the scavenger hunt, and it gives you clues. And when you find it, they actually have a thing set up where you push a button and a video like goes on the wall or goes in the thing and shows you a thing that you write down and stuff like that. So amazing. Okay, next. Here we go. I pulled out a bunch of questions today, so maybe we'll get to all of them. We have a comment. Maybe somebody knows what geocaching is. The comment says, hi, Brad. Okay, great. Thank you for that. Okay, here we go. Why is there a honeymoon period in marriage? And why is 80 short? 80 is short because time goes very fast, I think we found. But why is there a honeymoon period in marriage? Is that the question, or is it why does it end?
Or does it end?
For some it does, for some it doesn't.
Some really do good at keeping that phase going. What do you think, Brad, before I answer regarding brain functioning?
Well, as far as a honeymoon period goes, what happens is after a while, you get to the point where you're like, wait a minute, what did I get into here? And I'm done, because it's not the same anymore, because they don't know how to keep things moving along. It just becomes static. it becomes static. And then after that, it's not only the honeymoon period, it just takes a dive right under. And then now you're just mad at each other all the time because the other person isn't what you thought they were going to be.
You're really encouraging people to get married right now.
That's right. Well, because people then give up and they don't act the way they're always mean. Both people are always mean. And then you decide the honeymoon period is over because you've stopped trying.
Interesting theory.
Heroin really can help keep that spark alive. That's what I say.
Heroin makes you pass out and go to sleep. Meth can keep that spark.
Meth. Yes, I'm sorry. I heard it here. Donna Wilburn.
Get it right.
Meth for all marriages.
So actually, logically, it's the brain functioning. There's an area of your brain that gets stimulated when things are new. Okay, it's called the novelty center. If it's a new thing, you are actually stimulated and dopamine goes through your system like you're on a roller coaster. But only when things are new.
If you want to stimulate something to keep the marriage alive, it's not my brain.
Oh my God. Anywho.
Okay.
Stimulate that center when things are new and you get that dopamine rush. But after the novelty wears off, you don't get that dopamine rush so much and it feels not as exciting. So then you have to do something else that's new and something else that's new. So they say a lot of couples who travel places that are new really, really keep that dopamine going, because they're both experiencing something new at the same time, that thrill is still there. So
but then you get exhausted.
Part of it's wrong. Part of you are like, where you're like, oh, they give up and they stop trying. Well, that kind of is it. You've got to keep creating new experiences to keep that dopamine going.
But then you get exhausted with all this travel.
No, you don't. You should have new experiences anyway. You should be doing new stuff. It actually keeps your brain young too. You should take a new way to work, go to a new store. You should do new stuff all the time.
I'm going to go back to stimulating the other part that's not the brain. And be a heck of a lot happier. So
out of the gutter. Mind out of your pants.
Mind out of my pants.
Get your mind out of your pants.
Luckily, that's the only thing in my pants. There's literally nothing else in my pants. Okay. Right. Okay. What are the pearls? PERLS. There you go. Can you see that?
You go, educational system. Okay.
What are the pearls of being married? I'm guessing they're saying perils.
Perks.
Oh yeah, perks. What are the perks of being married? One is stimulating your brain, as you said, for a while, and maybe other places too. What are the perks of being married? I want to talk about some real perks.
But you live longer.
People live longer when you're married. People always ask me too, why do they live longer? Because somebody bugs you.
No, just the guy lives longer. The girl doesn't live longer. Did you seriously just freeze on me? Oh my gosh. Where the heck did you go? Brad? Hi. So we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? So that was the question. What are the perks of being married? So one is you get to live longer. Well, the guy gets to live longer. Why does the guy get to live longer? Because the woman's good at nagging and making sure he's going to the doctor and going to the dentist and all that kind of stuff. And then another perk of being married is it is more convenient if you want a booty call that you already have somebody there. From what I hear from single folks out there, it's hard to find, halfway good quality booty calls, and you may go without for a certain amount of time. So having a handy dandy booty call. Another perk of being married, and I've been married for so long I forget what it's not like not to be married. So I am going by what the single folks tell me the perks of being married. For females, you feel a lot of times, maybe not for everybody, but there's a security with having a dude sleeping with you. Because, being a female, there's a lot of fear sometimes that, like, oh gosh, someone's going to break in, or someone's going to rape me or kill me or kidnap me. So when you have a guy sleeping with you, at least like someone with maybe not like Brad, maybe someone with some muscle to them, you feel more secure, like at least somebody's there to protect you.
Test 1, 2. Am I there?
You are here.
Yeah, it's.
I'm here. I'm here.
I changed cameras for something happened. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm on the awful, terrible other camera.
Yeah, the coloring, not so good.
Well, that's because this is the $4 camera that
little zombie-ish going on.
My regular camera is the hundreds and hundreds of dollars camera and my really expensive microphone. And this is the one that's on the front of the stupid computer. So it's going to look horrible.
All right.
Well, there you go. Yeah, here's a little tip in radio. If things go sideways, keep talking because.
Yeah, nice to know. Thank you, and good job telling me that because I was like,
you were staring. You're gonna do your makeup and look around and hang out.
I didn't realize people could still see me.
No, yeah, you were still on. All I noticed was
I wasn't keeping my nose or something.
I don't know what happened either. I thought I was off the internet, but I wasn't. It was my camera.
It seriously froze, then disappeared.
I froze, then disappeared. And then it said I was back on, but then it wouldn't let me in. So I came in this way. Okay, great. All right, next question.
So I answered that one.
What?
I answered that question, the perks of being married. Got that.
Why does my husband pissy all the time, like every 10 minutes? I'm guessing it's is. Why is my husband pissy all the time?
So is that like, why is he pissy, like angry, or does he actually have to urinate every 10 minutes? Because
why is he being a twit every 10? Why is he always got a complaint? This is Melania Trump. Why is he always whining?
Whining and complaining.
Why is he complaining all the time about everything? And that's because you married a whiner and a complainer. You married someone who.
Now, guys hide that. Guys hide that early on. They don't show you their capacity for whining and complaining early on. They don't show that till later. And then after, it's like just negativity.
Well, then you have to spend a good 4 years getting to know somebody before.
Yes, you do.
You've got to, this goes back to the last question. You got to wear somebody down before you marry them. You got to wear them down to their core. And then you have to be okay with that core. You know what I'm talking about? You got to.
Well, that is kind of true. You got to see them under duress, in a bad mood, stressed out, hungry, tired, and whoever that is, you have to be okay with that.
No makeup. You got to see her in the morning with no makeup, with her, with the drool and the bad breath. And if you still like it, then you have a better chance of staying.
Then you get married. Sounds good.
Okay. Why? Oh my God. When married, does your private part belong to you or your spouse?
Oh my goodness, that should not even be a question. Although I just heard that recently where someone said, we're married, I own you.
Oh my God.
Which means I can have sex with you whether you want it or not. Yeah. I actually heard that from someone saying that's what my spouse said to me.
That was a law for many years. They had to change that law. A man basically owned his wife. They're in some countries too. If she won't have sex, you get to have sex with her no matter what. And even in this country, that was a law for a long time. Not anymore. But
I bet you there's a lot of hillbilly type redneckies out there that may think it's still true.
Yeah, they're in the Capitol right now attacking.
I think so.
Yes, they're attacking the Capitol as we speak.
That's where they're all hanging.
They're all hanging right now. So their wives are like, "Oh God, I get a day off."
I know, right? I get it.
Forcing me to have sex, but okay. And you know what? You're lucky if your wife's a heavy sleeper. I think that's the most important thing. If she's a real heavy sleeper, then you can just get it in there.
I don't know if that's a heavy sleeper. I think you'd have to be on major drugs.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a heavy sleeper. Like, that's passed out.
Is that? I don't know. Is that?
You can't sleep and not know what's happening.
I don't know.
No one sleeps that heavy.
Here's an interesting thing. My wife walks in her sleep, and she has been in the past. She gets amorousy sometimes in her dream, and back now. And this is years ago, but she would turn around and like be
and I would not know she was asleep. Then if I realized she was asleep, I'd be like, wait a minute, I have to wake her up. We can't do this.
That's not consent.
We cannot do this
if you're sleeping.
make sure she's awake. You know what I mean? So, because one time I think she woke up in the middle and she's like, what? Oh my God, I was dreaming we were having sex. I said, and then you started having sex. So I got to make sure she's awake.
You got to get it signed. You're like, if I'm sleeping, you are allowed to continue having sex with me. Get that on paper because it can be used against you.
Well, in the movie, did you see Wonder Woman 1984? So in Wonder Woman 1984, her boyfriend Steve takes over a guy's body. She wishes him back, and they have sex. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're having sex. I got it. The whole concept.
Like using that guy's body?
Using that guy's body. They had sex. And I hate to think about that was a woman and it was a man.
Yeah, I don't think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, because it was Gal Gadot and every guy's like, yeah, go ahead.
Whether I'm here or not, use my body.
Here or not. That's kind of date rapey. I mean,
it is.
You know, because think about how mad we got when Porky's was on. Remember, not Porky's. That movie's horrible. But Revenge of the Nerds back in the 80s, where he comes in dressed as the boyfriend. She thinks he's her boyfriend. They have sex. Her thinking it's the boyfriend the whole time until he takes off the mask. And, oh, it's okay because she's fine with it now. Because
she thought it was someone else.
She thought it was someone else. That is definitely sexual assault.
Yes.
But because he was good at it, it's okay.
Yeah.
That was horrible. Okay, wait, we have to do the narcissist thing.
Oh yes. Let's just do this little kind of signs that you're in a relationship with a narcissist. In case anyone you know that you're in a relationship. This doesn't have to be a partner. It could be a friend, a family member, a workplace person. You want to look at these signs. These are really important.
I haven't looked at these. What happens when it all turns out to be me?
I know that is a risk, and I am a therapist. I can try to help you, although narcissists don't really go to therapists. So
that's right, they don't because they know better. Narcissists
are right, and they don't think there's anything wrong. So why to go to a therapist?
First one's me, conversation hoarder,
dominating the conversation, and that one's not always true at the beginning. That they don't always do that. And I can't see like what these words say. Let me see. Make it bigger. Oh, there it is. I can say, okay. So that isn't always true because sometimes they are kind of shy and it'll take a bit for them to get comfortable. But once they do get comfortable, yeah, it's their own thoughts and feelings, opinions, and you might as well just not even talk about yours. But this one might come in later. So you have to be careful. Like, oh, they don't talk about themselves all the time. They're totally good. Yeah, maybe not at first.
Well, keep that. I'm the opposite. I'm in at first. I talk about myself all the time. All the time. I can't.
And then you get better, and then you don't do that so much later.
I don't do it because then I don't care anymore, and they've heard about me. So it's you know what I mean. It's not a thing anymore.
That might be more of like a when you're nervous, you talk a lot thing versus your natural state being hoarding the conversation.
That's true. I've gotten better. Conversation interrupter. Ah, that's me in every way.
So it says like conversation interrupter usually happens because they're not interested in what you're saying. So they're just like blah, blah, blah. Yeah, anyway. And they'll just jump in and go, or no joke, they walk away while you're still talking.
I don't do that. I just go, I got to go. Sorry. I give them a heads up.
Yeah, narcissists aren't usually that nice.
I am almost zero interested in what most people have to say.
You're just racking up the points right now.
Yeah, okay.
So rule breaker, this is a big one. Narcissists do not like boundaries. So if there's a rule or a boundary or a standard or a whatever, it's almost like an urge. They want to defy it. Okay.
I am the king of rules. I get so
you follow rules.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I believe in every rule now I believe that there should be a way for me to circumvent and have a rule that makes me better, but I'm not going to break the rules, if that makes sense.
So this with narcissists, they don't really think the rules apply to them. And if it means they can't do what they want, they will want to break it.
Yeah.
But this goes so far as to like, there's a rule that we don't cheat in relationships. Narcissists don't care.
Oh,
They will do it anyway.
I totally believe in rules. I like, though, when I'm above the rules. Like when I actually don't have, like
VIP service.
If I'm the comedian in the show, I ain't waiting in the freaking line if I want to go into the show. I mean, or if I even know it's a comedy show and I'm not involved in the comedy show, I ain't waiting in line either. I'm just going backstage. I like to not have to have those rules. If I was I don't steal stuff. I don't overtip or undertip. I tip well and don't tell anybody. But now driving, I would love to break all the driving rules. I don't. But there are some that I do. So far, I should not get to be married.
Okay, this is a big deal. Boundary violator, that's a big deal because I tell people there's two people in the world. There's boundary respecters and boundary violators. This goes with the consent thing that we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. Consent is a boundary and you'll be like, no, thank you. And they don't care. They think their feeling or whatever overrides whatever your preferences are. The boundary violator is one of my first red flags that I'm talking to a narcissist. If you say no, thank you, or no, and they push or want to go anyway, then that's a big red flag.
My problem is I don't want to have, I want to have little remorse and I don't. I have a ton of remorse. It makes me so mad. I so much want to just not give a crap what happened. It's like when I was taking karate. I took karate and I wanted to spar so bad and I just wanted to punch and beat people up. And then once I would hit somebody, I would feel so bad about it. I would stop and then they would punch me 50 times. It just was terrible.
You just blew it then. You're not a narcissist. Like that remorse just took you out of the game.
But I do blame the victims all the time. Okay. So I'm very big into it. It's your own fault. It's your own fault for dressing like that, Missy.
So this is the false image projection, also known as bragging, okay, or name dropping, or trying to make them look like they're like so much more special than they actually are. And then you find out like they don't really know that person, or they don't really do that. Then you're like, ew.
Yeah, I was just talking to Jake Gyllenhaal about this.
Were you on?
Yeah, and we were talking about how much.
Can I verify that?
We hate name dropping, so we really. But yeah, no, he and I always talk about that, and yeah, Lakshmi Singh from NPR. She really believes in all these things, and she was at the house, but she's not so. And of course, a quick story. I was working with a comic one time, and I'm not going to say who he is because he's actually a really nice guy. And we were at a club, and this is back when we had phones, regular phones, in like '89. And we're about to leave the club, the condo, to go to the club. And he goes, wait a minute, I have to make a call before we go. And it's just me in the room, nobody else, just me and him. He picks up the phone, dials it, and then he waits. He goes, yeah, I need to talk to Les. Yeah, now it's me, the guy. Okay, yeah. And then he waits and he goes, yeah, Les, I can't do it for less than $15,000. I just wanted to tell you. And he hangs up and he goes, yeah, that was Les Moonves from CBS. I had to tell him the deal was not good enough. So this guy pretended just for me to call the guy who is the head of CBS television, not just running a show or the guy giving out deals for TV. He was pretending to talk to the head of CBS to say that the deal was not good enough. And he was middling a comedy club in Atlanta. It was.
But look how flattering that is to you that he went to all that trouble to impress you.
Why?
You must really think you're something.
Now, a true story for everybody. I was working with Frankie Bastille, greatest guy in the world, drug addict, back and forth. This is 94. He is just back doing comedy after doing rehab again for like the 9th time. Kills every night. but he's not getting a lot of work because he's burned so many bridges. He picks up a phone, dials, and I hear this. Hello, everybody. He goes, get Robin on the phone. And I hear somebody, well, sir, this is talk to Robin now. I hear in a minute. Oh, hello? Who? It's Robin Williams. He is called on the set of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh my gosh.
Robin, you call blah, blah, and tell him to give me freaking work right now. And I hear Robin Williams. Oh, hey, Frankie. Well, no, I can give a call. That's okay. Yeah, you son of a bitch. You bet. Hangs up, calls another one. I need to talk to Leno right now.
Oh my goodness.
Leno, hey, Frankie. Leno, you called that club. So that was real non-fake projection. So cool.
Wowza and wowza. Entitlement.
Number 6, entitlement.
Didn't you just say you did that?
What do you mean?
Narcissists expect preferential treatment.
Yes, I feel, well, we have so many entitled people in the world right now, just entitled. I don't have to wear a mask in your store because I'm this and I'm that. And you are not entitled in any way to any of these things. You're entitled to follow the rules at the place you're in because that's their rules.
Yes, no entitlement, especially if you didn't. I think if you earn it, you worked for a different kind of treatment, then great. If you don't just get it because you're so special.
What I love is people now that are white that are screaming racism because they aren't given everything. They're not, they don't want to follow the rules. You have to follow the rules. Well, you're racist. Wait a minute. Because we ask you to follow the rules, now there's racism against you.
Charmer. So this number 7, this is the manipulation thing. This is the charmer. And that, I have to tell you, like, that will fool me. And I'm a therapist who works with this crowd. When they're doing their charming thing, oh my gosh, like, how could you think they do anything wrong? And I'll get couples in, and if one's got their charmer, I'm like, resist the charm, resist the charm. This one gets me.
I can do this on a limited basis if I really want to. Like,
you can do the turn on the charm.
Yeah, if it's like
charm different, is it genuinely, if it's genuinely someone who is really, really interested in what you have to say, that's charming. Or people can pretend they're genuinely interested in what you have to say. That's the manipulator. That's the narcissist. Narcissists aren't really interested.
Grandiose personality. I do not have this in any way.
This I see with a lot of addicts. And the thing with the addict brain, when someone's in addiction mode, they say, what do they say? They say every addict is a narcissist, but not every narcissist is an addict. Mm-hmm. And when you are in that mode, when your brain's in narcissist mode, it's like you just think you're super awesome. Like, you're just better than everybody else. Like, everybody else is stupid and ignorant, and you're just like amazing.
Well, and that is a huge problem for those of us that are super amazing and intelligent. And
is that right?
Oh. What I love is people now. What we have now is people, especially online, and you find a lot of them on Parler, is that not only are they not the hero, they think they're the hero, and they have no idea about what the actual truth of any of it is.
Right.
And they will just act like they are saving the nation when they are just making up the worst crap and they're doing terrible. Wow. Again, it's exactly what's going on right now.
I know. Sounds familiar.
Negative emotions.
So they were little, I call it stirring you up. They will stir you up. So you're like having a good day. You come across this person and they will say things just to piss you off or make you upset. Like, I had a lady, she was talking about a friend, talking about something, and her friend says something just to like make her feel bad. Just to like, oh my God, I can't believe you. For no reason, out of nowhere. I'm like, why would a friend want you to feel like crap? These people want to stir you up and want you to feel like nervous or upset or guilty or whatever. They'll say things just to stir that up. That is not cool. Healthy people do not do that.
Well, and that keeps them in the relationship because only you are the person for that. They aren't good enough for anybody else. And I'm slumming myself to be with you, but I'm going to do it. I'm such a great person. and you're such a hunk of trash.
They'll say a comment out of nowhere and it will throw you right off. It will throw your whole day. And they just like to do that.
Luckily, I'm very good at running screaming from all people who do anything like this.
Yeah, don't hang around people who like to piss you off for fun. Okay, that's not good.
Oh my God. And people don't like that. Manipulation, using others as an extension of self. What is it? Extension of self. What does that mean?
So this is like, to me, let's say someone wants to be really rich, okay, and a millionaire, but they really aren't able to. They will marry someone or get with someone to live that lifestyle, to like, I'm so rich and amazing, not because of me, because I'm with this person. So they like, this might sound familiar too. It's like feeling special and wonderful only because I'm using this person to feel that way.
Oh, living through somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, like, I haven't done this, you're going to do this.
Yeah, and it's almost like they're entitled to all the wealth and stuff that goes with it. They feel like it's theirs, which, you know, I can understand this being a couple, we're a team, but it's like, it's in their head. I'm so special and wonderful because I have this, that, and the other. Not even giving credit, not even saying it's because of him. It's using him or using them to get those things.
Well, I think
bigger, I guess, could be like a way of saying it.
You can also think of this as, I think of this as like, there's dads who literally leave their families when they're young, and then 25 years later, the kid's famous and rich, and they try to slide right back in there to get money and to get accolades and act like they did something for 25 years, and then can't understand when their kid is mad at them, you know, like they did something.
You know what? As you're saying that, what about the dads who like get nuts about their kid playing sports, right? Like they didn't do good at baseball, but they are going to make sure their kid does because they need to be a baseball star and they couldn't do it themselves. So they're like forming their kid into being this person, and on they're coaching, they're playing, they're doing. I have like so many of these, I can't even tell you.
Well, what about Lori Loughlin just spent 2 months in prison because her daughter had to be this or this or this when she her daughter's still already making $2 million a year, but because she wants to make sure she gets it looks good to have her kid in college.
Yeah, it's like a reflection. It's like, I want you guys to see the reflection, not really me, the reflection of me. So look at this person because that's me. It's crazy.
That's why my kid goes to Trump University.
Yeah, it's your reflection.
It's a reflection of me and my values.
My values. Insecure people, like there's so many right now. It's overwhelming. Overwhelming. That's what all these maniacs, like these groups, mobs right now. That's insecure people.
You got a big truck, a big gun, and a small penis. Woo!
That's the crowd. That is the crowd that's out there right now.
Like this democracy crap telling me what to do. You can tell you what to do, though. So, look, I feel terrible that my camera has pooped out. I will fix it for next week. Hopefully, we'll see Joe back again. If you want to get a hold of Donna, it's right there, DonnaWilburn.com. I'm Brad Tassell. If you watch this later, skip the middle part that got screwed up.
No, I did good.
You did a great job. You look like, for about a minute and a half, you look like George Bush in 2001 when they told him that the towers got struck. He just went.
Is that what I was doing?
I could see you guys. Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.